Grasshoppers, welcome to the Bot Signal. This is, of course, RJ Redden. Boy, sorry for the technical difficulties. Let's just get that out of the way. You know, little glitchy with the Be Live today. I scheduled the wrong type of show, and it wasn't going to let me come on the air. So, talking to myself is not as fun as you would think it would be. So, I'm on this broadcast, hoping everybody finds their way over. But today we're going to talk a little bit about the Facebook Developer Conference that just happened. This was yesterday and the day before. Let's see here. I need to I need to adjust a little bit here. I've got folks trying to find the show, and it's been a bit difficult. So let me fix that. Anyway, we are talking about the changes that are coming to Facebook here pretty darn soon. And it is really some great stuff. So without further ado, first change in the news from F8, the Facebook Developers Conference. First piece of news is that, of course, bots are back. That you now have the ability to connect your bots, and you don't need to wait anymore. If you've got a brand new bot, you can make this happen. So, just getting back to somebody right now. Here we go. So that is really good news. Here in the Bot Cave, clearly that's good news. It's, and I want to clear up too a little bit of a misunderstanding that I think that folks have. I saw all of the headlines, bots are back, the bot pause is over. Yeah. This pod was not because of bots. Can I just clear the air? It wasn't about bots at all. It was all third-party developers. Every game on Facebook, no new stuff, no new brand new experiences could happen. All of the chat bot platforms, they were all halted from, creating new experience. Everybody that creates an experience on Facebook was halted from doing that. So because they were doing that review of all their stuff because of the Cambridge Analytica thing, it wasn't centered on bots. And it wasn't because of bots. So just wanted to clear the air there. Anyway, let's see, new stuff coming. Oh, overall, I did want to kind of address one thing as well. When I saw the conference overall, and I watched both days of it, the live video that they had out, it talked a lot about relationships, connection, and communication. A lot about that. They were talking about, sometimes Facebook in the past has had really good, some interesting visions about how it wants things to work, but it hasn't necessarily connected people. Sometimes, it's a double-edged sword. Sometimes it also divides people. And so they were talking about using the platform to have more people on. Aaron Strayer made it. Now it's a show. It's a show now. Thanks for making it, Aaron. I know it was a little bit difficult, the technical difficulties there. Thanks for coming, though. So we were talking about the overall impressions from Facebook Developer Conference, and this is a little bit 30,000 feet today. This is a little bit okay. What does this exactly have to do with Messenger bots? I'll get to some of the changes within Messenger itself, but I always want to know what direction Facebook is going in. So, if you're a small business owner, and if you, run advertising on your stuff, or you do Facebook marketing of any kind, a lot of people were taken by surprise by some of the announcements that Facebook has made this year. So they announced a few months back that it was going to promote pages that didn't have a lot of organic commenting conversations being started on them. A while back before that, they made the announcement that all of those tag 5 people who like blue t-shirts, and every time somebody liked or tagged a bunch of people, it was kind of counted as an interaction. They decided to stop counting those as interactions because so many people were using it as spam. So a lot of people were kind of taken surprise taken by surprise for these decisions. The reason why I always want to know what direction Facebook is looking is because I don't want to be taken surprised by anything. I want to know what direction they're truly going for, so that when I'm writing bots for myself, when I'm writing bots for my clients, they're staying within the boundaries of what Facebook wants and why they created this thing. I will never, ever, I swear to you, try to help you hack an algorithm. A, algorithms are very difficult. B, it's just going to change anyway. If you find a way to hack it today, trust me, darlings, it'll be gone by next week. So it's not about hacking the algorithm. It's about growing your tribe with some momentum. It's about having conversations with people that are new, having further conversations with people in your circle that have been close to you for a while, but maybe want to take a different road. It's all a big adventure for me. And so that's why I watch the developer conference. And that's why I talk about it a little bit on the show, even though it doesn't necessarily directly relate to bots right now, it probably will in the future. So overall impressions: connections, relationships, conversations. This is what they're focusing on. They're focusing on bringing people together, both in the real world and in the virtual world, as we'll see with some of these upcoming changes here. And I want to tell you how this relates to bots is bots can give you quick results. If you go to the ManyChat blog right now, you will see several instances where, I don't know, some guys sold 10,000 t-shirts overnight, or, different examples or whatever of lots and lots of people getting into a bot. I got to tell you, that's not necessarily, that's kind of a little bit of an obstructive vision, of what happened. The guy who sold 10,000 t-shirts, those people had been working on developing their tribe for years and years and years. And then they let them all into a messenger bot to buy a t-shirt. So there's a lot of things going on there. Bots can be quick, but look at them as long-term relationship developers with your people, and you'll have more luck staying within Facebook terms of service. Do not use to spam. I know I don't have to tell any of you, but don't do it. Don't do it. Facebook's going to find you and root you out. Okay, let me grab some comments here. Stacy says, thank you for watching the developers conference for us. Anytime, Stacy, darling. It is my job to translate geek into normal English, and I am so proud and happy to do it for you. Teresa says, I never understood why they wouldn't push pages. I stopped using my page because of that. I got better engagement in other places. It makes me not want to use Facebook at the level that I used to. So absolutely. And a lot of people felt that, Teresa. You are not alone, okay? A lot of people were like, Facebook is dead. I'm going to go to another platform. A lot of people mad about it. And I understand why you're mad, because I understand why they were angry, because it's standing on a shifting sand foundation all of a sudden when you thought it was a solid rock. Facebook has done that to pages a couple of times. Here's what I think. Taking in what I know about Facebook and what I know what they're aiming toward in the future, I think that they did that with pages, and they didn't take away reach. They just said, we're going to give it to the pages that have a lot of conversations going on in them. So looking at everything I know here, a lot of pages, not yours, not mine, not anyone in this virtual room seeing this video right now, we didn't take advantage of the algorithm, but a lot of them did. A lot of them did. And it caused a lot of trouble. People selling Facebook hacks and all of that kind of stuff, and people creating fake accounts and then creating pages for businesses that didn't exist. And all of that really messed with people's experience on the platform. And that's what they're looking out for. It really feels like small businesses got the shaft a little bit because of that. And I think that we did. But what I think they're trying to do is push people toward, if you're going to have a sales mindset, go find out what ads are all about. If you're really wanting to use Facebook as a market, go figure out what ads are all about. And then, of course, my direction is not ads, it's Facebook Messenger. Use Facebook Messenger instead. More personal, I get more feedback. It's infinitely more useful for me as a small business person. Stacy says they're aiming toward getting paid. No kidding. Absolutely. That's what they do. That's how they make their monies. Aaron says, really feels like small biz, those not paying for ads got the shaft. I'll tell you something, Aaron. I'm hearing that people who are paying for ads right now feel they're getting the shaft. A lot of changes going on. I used to work in software. Full disclosure. I worked in software for a bit, a couple of years, and I worked with an IT department on a product. We built a CRM from the ground up. I'll tell you what, sometimes platforms get so big, you make a change over here. It's like that video, you know, of the, you touch an ion over here and across space, this ion feels it, you know, this atom feels it. Much science I know, but it's exactly the same way with computer programs. Sometimes you touch a piece of code over here and something over here waggles, and then you got a whole new problem. So I'm going to be patient for about a month and then kind of see where things are at. Because yeah, people saying Facebook ads are giving them problems or being a waste of money. Steve, Facebook does not want that, right? You know, so I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait to judge until some stuff calms down a little bit. Robert C. Stern, I have not used an ad in over 3 months now. Well, Robert, we all know who you are. If people don't know who you are, you know, what rock are they living under? Welcome to the show. Glad to see you today. Aaron says, oh, I read that one already. Let's see. Teresa says, I just noticed my website getting more organic visitors. Made me think of you and bots. Figuring out how to add a bot to my site. Go directly to blackbeltbots.com/shop. Go to the welcome templates. They're free. It will teach you how to put a messenger button on your website. Teresa, do this thing. Because if you're getting more organic traffic, now's the time to take advantage of that. Open up a bot experience to people. I have a template there that you can use. It's already written. You just kind of zhuzh it up with more Teresa. And I think that you'll be really happy with that. That'll kind of let you step into bots without having to, go into it full force. You can kind of stick a foot in the water and see if that's what you want. Let's see. Yeah, tribe development. I love you, Aaron. Tribe development is shifting for sure. It sure is. Fantastic. So, very good. The templates are fantastic. Thank you. Thank you, Stacy. Love Stacy. And got the link right there for you. Dale says, sup, yo. That means that there's really a party going on now. Hello, Dale. Lovely to see your show this morning. So, some more stuff then about the stuff that's headed for us in Facebook over the next year, and a little news about the stuff that they're working on. Now, there was a lot of alphabet soup being spit at us during this particular developers conference. Hey, they're developers. They do this thing for a living. Let me explain to you very quickly the difference between some very popular 2-letter combinations, okay? AI, I think you already probably know this, but just in case. AI is artificial intelligence. It's Watson. It's open the pod bay doors, please, Hal. It is a great big artificial brain that is trying to learn how to work like a human brain, basically. That's what artificial intelligence is. It is way beyond my knowledge. Way. So I won't even try, but it is that giant brain, computer brain that can calculate way faster than we can. And it's, what they're trying to do with it is, not just Facebook developers and Facebook itself, but, they're trying to bring that thing toward new heights. Frankly, it's a little scary. See also the Terminator. Come with me if you want to live. Anyway, that's AI. That's Watson. That's a giant computer brain out there. Now, AR, boop. augmented reality. Okay. And what this means is if you have a phone, you can do this with it and see a different reality than you would see just taking a picture or, filming a movie or something like that. You can stick your phone out like this, look through it, and see something entirely different. It's like a little reality overlay. They're small. They're not necessarily, it's not an immersive experience. It's just a little bit on top. Augmented reality is coming to Messenger. I don't know yet how much we'll be able to put that into bots. But for instance, you're able to, if you're a product-based business, you're able to see things. You're able to, up close and, put that thing in your hand as close as humanly possible to actually putting the product in your hand. You can scoot up on it, turn it around 360 degrees, see how that lipstick's gonna look. All of these options are going to be available to you through augmented reality. That's coming in the next year sometime. Alphabet soup. Oh, I know. Ugh. Sat through so many of those classes where I'm like, I have no idea what that person's talking about. What a lie. Anyway, fantastic. So, Lindsay, AR is like Thanos and the Reality Stone. I like you. We need to talk. That is a fabulous analogy. Okay, so augmented reality, it's an overlay on real reality. You don't need anything to see this but your phone. This is actually going to be coming to us right now. If you want to see examples, Kia has this going on. If you were to message Kia, Nike also has it going on. Sephora also has it going on. You're able to look at their products and explore them in different ways as if you were right there with them. Okay, fantastic. And now VR, virtual reality. This is the immersive 3D environment that you need a headset for. Boop. This is not coming to Messenger bots anytime soon, which is fine. That's going to be some hot stuff when it comes. It's also a little filled with controversy, as you may probably can perceive. That stuff like that is going to be it's going to be crazy. If you've seen Ready Player One, if you've read the book either, you'll know that this is exactly what they're talking about, basically. So that's virtual reality when you need the headset. They're selling those bad boys now. Oculus Go, $200 a piece on the website, and it's an all-inclusive environment. They're planning some great stuff with that. Who knows how far they'll get? But they're aiming at connecting people across distances. They're aiming at being able to sit in a virtual living room and watch a movie with somebody that lives across the country from you. That's kind of where they're aiming for that. They're aiming on gameplay as well, some of that stuff. So that ought to be interesting to watch. We do live in the future. When did this happen? I think it's because I got older at some point. Not more mature, though, so don't worry about that. Yeah, we do live in the future, and nothing's stopping that now. So very good. Movie industry is going that way in a big way. Movie industry is, and I tell you, you're going to be able to watch concerts, different kinds of things, live events. You're going to be able to watch them as if you're in an audience right there. So that is really interesting stuff too. I have now been told to never change. I guarantee you that's not happening anytime soon. If technology might change, but RJ doesn't really. All right. So augmented reality, the AR one, let's go back to that. That's going to be great for product-based businesses. My friend Ryan, Barn Rat Studio, it's going to be great for him. Right now, he's got pictures in his bot of all of the different yard games that he builds. With this, he'll be able to, I don't know how we're going to capture the image, if it's going to take some building on a 3D modeler. I have no idea what it's going to take, but people will be able to really see that thing and get up close to it. And that's a wonderful thing for product-based businesses. So another thing coming in the next year here, auto translation into other languages, which is great. You know, it's great for companies that work all over the world. It's really great for nonprofits. It's really great for nonprofits who have people contacting them for help every day. But if they don't have somebody to translate that there's nothing that they can do. They're starting with Spanish, everybody. They're starting with Spanish. Lots of people speak that language. They're going to see how that rolls out, and then they're going to start adding other languages. But how this works is, here we are in Messenger. Somebody writes something in Spanish to you. On your end, you see what they wrote, but you also see English. Then you write back in English, and then it's translated back into Spanish. It's so Star Trek, isn't it? It's so Universal Translator. Anyway, we'll talk about Star Trek another day, I promise. So those are a couple of things. Another one here, and this one's a little harder to really kind of get a concrete example of, but they're looking at advancing the natural language processing. What this means is, when you hit up a business page, and this doesn't have anything to do with bots, by the way, this is just part of the Facebook experience in Messenger. When you hit up somebody's business and you say, what hours are you open? And when you also ask a really similar question, how many hours you open a day versus what time do you open today? The natural language processor recognizes that those are basically the two same. It's not looking all over for combinations of words. It's really saying, okay, this person is really saying the same thing. Natural language processing has to do with semantics. Those of you who have studied language, that's awesome. And it's not what I studied in school, but those of you who have studied language know that English is very difficult. You say the word bark. Do you mean the tree, or do you mean what a dog does when they're hungry? Hoping my dog doesn't get any ideas right now. Anyway, having synonyms and homonyms and all of the different little strange spellings of the English language, it's difficult to make natural language processing work. But apparently they're making some advances here, and we'll be able to see that at some point in the next year. So Dale says, and with 5G cell networks coming, all of this will be more available than ever before. I also read today, Dale, because they had, they had the second day of the conference yesterday, that one of the difficulties about introducing all of this brand new cool stuff is that it widens the gap. It widens the digital divide. And when I'm talking about that, I mean, we didn't notice it when we were kids. It was like, you have color TV, great. But now, when you invite all of this cool new technology, it's limited to only the people that have the bandwidth to be able to access that, right? And so that's a little bit difficult sometimes for people. What Facebook is also doing is, investing in fiber optics around the world and stuff like that. Because you're right, with 5G cell networks, everybody who's in that network is going to be able to benefit, but the people who are not are going to be that much more left behind. And you gotta be aware when you're a company that's introducing all this stuff, that there are going to be have-nots in the world, and how do you address being able to extend your reach a little bit to get people who, maybe don't have a 5G in their area. So that's what I know about that. There were a lot of things that came out yesterday, and day 2 of the conference, deeply more geeky, deeply more flow charts and buttons and floating things and alphabets coming at you. And it's fascinating stuff. But really what they're talking about is advances in augmented reality, advances in virtual reality. And I think it's exciting. I think it's exciting. We'll see where it goes. But what I'm getting out of it for us, for people who are interested in messenger bots or maybe building one, what I'm getting about it is the direction of the company is not it has so much less to do with how to make $1 million on Facebook than it does how do you create an authentic experience with people who might be interested in what you do. How do you take a stranger and make it into a relationship? For me, the bot is, I said this in a show this morning, I think it was Steven's show. I said a bot is a gateway to a conversation. It's a gateway drug to a real live conversation. Whether that happens, a lot of mine happen over Zoom because I work everywhere across the country. But, how do you take that bot flavored conversation, which is hopefully filled with your personality? That's what I tell all my clients, and that's what we work on. How do you take that and put it to a real live experience where you can meet people and figure out if they're right for you? With small business, the fight has always been, how do we get this magic copy to as many people as we possibly can? San Francisco's calling. I doubt they want anything really nice. All right. So live streaming babies happens all the time. So how do we take that? How do we take that and make that into a conversation? I just like to think about it as a person sitting across from me. How would I relate to that person in a way to make them feel comfortable? Here's what I do. This is just me. I usually, when I'm meeting people, I'm incredibly nervous, by the way. I am incredibly outgoing when I'm behind a camera in the bot cave, which is my office. I'm a little less outgoing when you put me in a bar at some happy hour networking thing. I am much more shy and stuff like that. So when I'm in a real life situation like that, what I do is when I'm trying to chat someone up at a networking event, I will often use humor to get them to relax. If they relax, it's magical. I relax, and all of a sudden I can, have a conversation. What I usually do is joke about how nervous I am. That is what I usually do in a real life situation. So how does that translate into a bot? I use humor in my bot. I use GIFs. I use, Bitmoji. Obviously, everybody knows my crowd knows what the Bitmoji is because I use them obsessively. I'll write a joke right in there. I will do things to make you giggle. I'll use words that I think that will make you giggle, and I will set people at ease that, this totally is a chatbot experience right now, but it's okay to open up and, if you have a question, RJ will be here as soon as she can. That kind of stuff really works for connection, relationship building, all those things that we do as small business owners. So that's kind of what I know today of questions. Always. By the way, kids, if you type live, in the little comments there, if you type live, then you'll get subscribed to reminders of my show. Never miss another RJ, because it's always going to be a little bit interesting and totally foolish and filled with actual valuable information. Type live in the comments. You'll get a little reminder through my bot whenever I go live on the Black Belt Bots page. Gail Gilliland's here. Hello. Great to see you. By the way, hey, everybody, Gail has a new podcast. It's on Anchor FM. I am proud of you. Thank you for putting that up there. It is lovely to hear your dulcet tones. Talk about people telling their stories, Gail. Stacy says, I'm adding Bitmoji into a new call reminder bot for my group coaching clients right now while I listen. That is fantastic, darling. Yes. Reminder bot for group coaching clients. Such an effective use of the medium, darling. People get busy, okay? They just get busy. They don't want to miss your session. They probably paid something for it. They don't want to miss it. They want to get something valuable out of it. It's just that we are going so 1,000 miles an hour at this point that sometimes these things get missed, even though people pay for them. So love that reminder bot. Please do shoot it over to me so that I could bask in your glory, Stacey Spenceley. Your bot's the best. Best shout out ever. I'm a huge fan. I'm just a huge fan. So very good. Any questions from me on anything you've seen or heard about Facebook, F8, the developer conference, or bots? I'm here. I'm here to take those for you. Otherwise, I will begin my ending spiel here in a few minutes. Stacy says, I miss email reminders. So much easier to see the messenger window pop up. I'm okay. Now let me read that with the right inflection. I miss email reminders. So much easier to see the messenger window pop up. Yes. Email. I go there to work. I have an email list. I use an email list every 180 days at least. And I think that I was talking to my friend Kim Boltzmann about this, and she is very wise. She was talking about, let's not kill our email lists. Let's use it differently. It was once the catch-all, end-all, be-all of every single thing. I don't know how many Viagra messages I've got. Listen, Viagra is so particularly unuseful in my household. I just don't even know what we would use a substance like that for. And yet, I still get this stuff. If I were to look in my spam folder right now, you'd see advertisements for things that I don't need. Let's approach email in a whole new way. Let's approach it as a medium where we can totally add value to people's lives instead of doing the things that we've been taught to do for a long time now. So anyway, that was sort of a call to action. We'll see what happens with that one. Cold reading. It sure is. Oh man, it sure is. And I have trouble when people ask me to sign up for their newsletters and stuff like that. I stop to think, and I think, do I really need more electronic clutter, or do I really think this will be a valuable addition to me? I don't know if you all knew this. This is something that my friend and social media guru Kim told me the other day, is that Google is now going to start to downgrade sites that do the pop-up right in your face advertising. The pop-up right in your face, like newsletter and newsletter sign up and things like that. So beware, if you're doing that anywhere, might want to reconsider or find better research than hearsay on that to see what the rules are and what you should and shouldn't do. But for me, when something like that comes up, I immediately and irritatedly click it off, and now I'm never going to sign up because you've given me 5 whole seconds to decide if what you're telling me is valuable. 5 whole seconds ain't enough. So anyway, rant over. Anyway, love you guys. Couldn't love you more. Thank you for stopping by today. We even have some new people. I see Cheryl Piper there. Hey Cheryl, how you doing? I'm grateful that you're all here. I'm grateful that you found me, even though I had a little technical glitch at the beginning. I will be back. Tuesday, Thursday, on Black Belt Bots, 1 p.m. Central. Tonight, I'm doing a show with Ross Brand. I'm going to be on live stream deals, and I'm going to be offering live streamers a little deal. So do watch out for that. That will be at 6 p.m. Central, and I'm going to be on at the end of the show. But Ross Brand is a dear friend of mine, and man, boy, is he connected within the live stream universe, I guess. And view tonight, 6 o'clock Central, on the Black Belt Bot channel, 1 o'clock Tuesday, Thursday. I'm best friends with Alexa. Watch this. Boop. I'm best friends with her. Check for the bot signal on Alexa. Check for also the bot signal on Anchor FM, because I'm there too, just in case you don't have one of those little listening devices in your home. Anyway, darlings, You're the best. Should you need anything about bots, don't look any further. Get on my calendar. We'll get a half hour together. You can ask me anything. And I can't stand pop-up sites. Teresa, I am with you. I can't do it. Can't do it. And that is really the old, I mean, that's just, it's an old way to think about stuff. Interruption advertising. Never again. Just and bots, I think, properly used, bring about an end to a lot of interruption advertising and make it more like an organic conversation. That's what we all want. Dale says I'm amazing. Hey, you're in danger of me framing that comment and putting it up on the wall somewhere, Dale Maxwell. I might. I don't know. Love you guys. I will either see you tonight or I'll see you next Tuesday at 1. Thanks for being a part of my circle, and I'll see you in a bot.